The supplies you need to make the mask for a pocket filter. You need 2 rectangles that are 9 inches across by 8 inches tall. They need to be 100% cotton, tightly woven fabric. You need 2 pieces of 1/4 inch elastic that are cut 6.5 inches long. And if you have it available, you need a bread tie or some type of wire or pipe cleaner. If you don't have that available, you can still make this, but you just won't have the secure fit around the nose. So to get started, you're gonna take both of your rectangles and you're going to do a double turned hem across the 9-inch side. So you'll just fold it over about 1/2 to 3/8 of an inch. Now, it really doesn't matter exactly how far as long as the 2 pieces that you do are even. So a double turn, you folded it over once and then a second time. And then you can either leave it like that or you can pin or clip it in place. On the second piece that you do, you're going to add your bread tie. So for this one, I'm going to fold it over once and press it. And then when I fold it over the second time, I'm gonna lay that bread tie centered. This is towards the bottom, like the cut edge. And I'm just gonna fold it over again so that that bread tie is nested up inside of there, and just press right over it. And then for this one, I definitely do want to clip just to hold the bread tie in place. All right, so this is my piece that does have the bread tie in it, and we're basically just gonna be top stitching along the edge. So I start at one end. Basically, we're securing this closed. When I come towards my clip, I'm just gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna pivot, and I'm gonna stitch over the tie in reverse. And then I'm gonna start back on my same line and just continue top stitching down. Pull that last clip out, pivot again, stitch back and forth over that bread tie. That just holds it in place so it doesn't slip out. And then pivot one more time down to the end. Okay, now on the other piece, you're going to just stitch all the way across. You do not need to stop. All right, so for the next step, I'm gonna take my 2 pieces, lay them right sides together, and I'm gonna begin sewing in the elastic. So you'll take one of your elastic pieces and just lay it on top of the previous hem stitch, and lay your other piece right sides together. Okay. I don't pin them or anything, but you definitely could if you wanted to. So I am going to just stitch across the elastic, and I'm gonna reverse a few times just to hold it in place securely. And then now I'm gonna stitch down the 8-inch edge. When I get close to the corner, I'm gonna reach inside and grab the elastic end, and I'm gonna lay it across the corner so that when I stitch down here, I'm gonna catch it, and then I'm gonna reverse back and forth a couple times. And now I'm gonna be about 1/4 inch away from the edge. I'm gonna pivot turn and sew all the way across the bottom. When I get close, I'm gonna open it up to insert the other piece of elastic. Pivot turn one last time, and then stitch up almost to the top. I'm gonna stop before I get there to insert the other end of the elastic. So I just reach inside, grab that last elastic piece, and again I'm gonna go back and forth over it. So clip up your threads, and so far this is what you should have. It should look like basically like a little pouch with your ear pieces. So then you can just flip it right side out. You do want this opening because this opening is where you'll be able to insert your filter. This step is going to show you how to add the pleats. So you're going to take, this is the bottom edge of the mask. This is the open edge of the mask. I'm starting out at the bottom edge. I'm gonna fold, and I'm just kind of pinching about 1/4 inch of fabric in my fingers and then folding it up. So I'm pleating upwards towards the top, and then I'll just press it in place. Depending on your skill level, you may want to pin or clip those in place, but I'm just going to press them. Then I'm going to grab another spot just above and again pinch and fold up about 1/4 inch. What I mean by that is the little crease over here on the side where it's pleated, the amount that it's turned up is about 1/4 inch. And then one more, so you need to do this 3 times. So you pinch and fold and then press. So it should look, when it's all laid out, it should look like that. All right, so now we're gonna sew. You're gonna get about 1/4 inch from the edge. Start at the very top, so the opening is up here. And as you get to each of your pleats, just make sure they're going in the right direction. So I'm gonna stop before I get to my next one and fold it up. Because I've already pressed it, it makes it really easy just to kind of find those press lines and fold it up. Now I'm gonna get down to the bottom, leave about 1/8 inch, pivot turn, and just stitch across the bottom. This really doesn't do much except for it eliminates you having to cut and start over on the other side. All right, now I'm gonna pivot, flip up, and now I want my pleats to go down because they need to go the same direction as the other side in the same way that you would press them. And then you'll just stitch up to the other end, back stitch, and you are all done. So now you have your mask that opens up. Inside you can put a non-woven material, whatever you really can get your hands on. There's some different filters that you can get from hardware stores or even just a fusible interfacing. Take 2 sheets of fusible interfacing with the glue side together, and use a pressing cloth to press over it, but fuse the 2 pieces of interfacing together for a more like durable piece in the middle, and insert that in the middle. But that just gives you a little added piece of protection having the filter inside.